Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. This morning I just heard I was on Blue Sky and I was scrolling along Blue Sky and I saw something kind of interesting that I wanted to do a read on. Yeah, I'm going to do another reading today. I don't know when I'm going to get back to the meditations. I just feel motivated to do readings at the moment. But what I saw was another rocket was launched yesterday or last night in Texas, and it exploded. And this was from SpaceX, and it was, I don't know what they were doing, but that was a huge explosion. It was very, very massive. And I hope to God that there aren't residential areas near where they did this test because, oh my goodness, it was massive. So I got my trusty cards here, and I'm going to see what the future, and my guides are saying, read with the cat tarot, read with the cat tarot. And it's like, I don't know if I want to read. Okay, I'll trust them and I'll read with cat tarot, but I'm hoping that I can do this without any major mishaps. So I've got the cat tarot deck, and here's the cat tarot. So I'm just going to hold up the cards because turning the thing around is like kind of a pain. So I got the cat tarot, and for better or worse, as hopefully my kitties will be okay with regards to this, but I've got the cat tarot deck. I haven't worked with this deck in a while, so hopefully I'll be able to remember the images or the stuff on them because, as I said, I haven't worked it in a long time. The book is small, and the problem that I have is just like the writing is very tiny. So it's like when you look at the writing here, this is very tiny writing. So I may be like doing this, trying to read this if I get stumped on it. And so I do get stumped sometimes, and it does happen. And with me, it's usually a given and not it's usually the rule and not the exception, if you will. So here we go. So what is the future of SpaceX? What can you tell me about SpaceX and the future of SpaceX? Are they going to go into the detonation business, or what's the deal? What does the future look like for SpaceX? What is the future for SpaceX? I remember when I signed up on Blue Sky, they sent me a follow request. I immediately blocked them. My account blocks on the Blue Sky are pretty massively big. I mean, I just don't have time to deal with people's crap. So, but SpaceX was one of those things that followed me on Blue Sky, and then I blocked them. So I have no idea what they're doing. But those are my prejudices about SpaceX. Okay, so good. Okay, so here we go. So what I got is looks like the Five of Cups. Disappointment. I mean, even though this cat looks pretty satisfied, his bowls are empty. And he's like, where's my food? I want food right now. And so this does not look good for SpaceX. It is disappointment beyond disappointment. And it is crossed with the Nine of Swords. And the Nine of Swords is sleepless nights and just not being able to contend with everything that's going on. And so you've got this thing where things are just falling to bits and they don't really know what to do about it. And they're having a lot of sleepless nights about it. They're just, and so when you have these two things together, then you have like disappointment crossed with sleepless nights, and it's like things are not good for the head of SpaceX. They're not good. Okay, I don't say his name because I don't like it. In the past, the Queen of Pentacles, this was a pretty, things were pretty good on the up and up. It was pretty optimistic. They had a pretty, people thought, oh, they're going to have a good future and that things are going to be okay with them. But they're finding out very quickly that it's not. And so this card is, I think that it comes across as like, oh, well, things are okay and things are fine and dandy, but, this was in the past. This was all in the past. And the next card I get is this is the Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands. And this was also denotes the past. They were having fun. You see the kitty playing in the leaves. He's having a good time. But they and they had a good reputation, or at least it seems as though they had a good reputation, and now they're just kind of like not really. They're kind of remembering, reflecting, nostalgic of the past and how they were loved and revered and so in the past, but now it's just like always falling apart. Everything is just, just falling to bits, if you will. And the overarching energy is the I have to remember which one the triangle is. Cups, coins, so wands. Oh, this is the five of, I think, I'm like really confused with the imagery here. And okay, wands. Cups is the little cup thing. I think this is the pentacles is the round thing. Okay, let me see what the triangle is, because I'm kind of, okay, this is the swords. Okay, so yeah, this is the swords, the suit of swords. There's no swords shown. Maybe it's the claws of the cat, but there's like more than five. But at any rate, this is the Five of Swords. So this is like the I think this is like the overarching energy is like we're gonna show the world we're so great and that everything is fine and everything is great, but in reality it's not great at all, and they're kind of just like sitting there just not knowing what to do. And you notice that this cat sitting in the front, he's facing you, and these two are in the back, so they're just like, I want to get away from this. I want to get myself away from this energy. So that is the overarching energy. You probably have a lot of people in science who are saying, I think I'm going to walk away from this. This is just not good. So that's what it is. I should have remembered that this was the swords because I pulled the Nine of Swords earlier. So that has a little triangle thing at the bottom. And so, but that's I think that's the overarching energy. So it's the Five of Swords. But it's not always exact with these cards. And so I'm learning. But that's what that is. Okay, and the next card I'm pulling is Justice. And look at that cat biting the hand. Meow. So that is the that is, I think, is what's coming in the future is justice. I mean, these guys are blowing up rockets left, right, and center. They are destroying the environment. They are doing all of this stuff, thinking that they're going to just come out with, like, with celebrations and parades and what have you. But the reality is they're way out of their league. They're way out of their league with this, and they are going to be getting into trouble with it. So the Justice card is popping in and saying, no, your day is going to come where you're going to have to answer for all these mishaps that you've been having and all these misfirings that you've been doing, and we're going to see to it that it happens. So the next card I get is the Two of Pentacles, and I think this is the choice about the money and the is this prosperous for us? Are we going to have a prosperous outcome here? And it's like, it's either this one or that one, and you have a choice, and you can't take both. So, but this is where they're at. Should we test this, or should we wait and do more tests to make sure that the test will be okay? And I know that sounds a little convoluted But the whole thing is convoluted. Who made the decisions to do all of this stuff? Who made the choices to send these rockets up and to have them blow up in the, and ruin the environment? And I mean, that if you go on blue sky and you see this explosion, you're going to think, my God, it's like the world is coming to an end. This is massive. So this is where they're at with the gun. Okay, and this is how other people see them. They see them. It looks like they're just playing. They're just playing around, just doing this and seeing what happens and seeing what they can come up with. And people are like, are these people a joke? Are these people really seriously a joke? They are trying to do something that could be considered dangerous, and they are doing something that may not be to the best benefit to the people in Texas, or actually to the people involved in all of this. So this is a question of what is going on with these people and why are they doing this. They're thinking that this is a new beginning for them, but it's not really a beginning, and they think that this is a game and that they're playing this game, and it really is not a game. And the Justice card tells us, no, this is not a game. This is not a game. This is actually, this is what's happening. So that's, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so this is the, Hopes and Fears, I think, and it's the Three of Swords. No, the Three of Pentacles. The Three of Pentacles. I get this card mixed up because it looks like he's like, his teeth are on the card, and they're like, yeah. But actually, it's the Pentacles. The Pentacles are back here, and they are trying to ignore. I get the feeling that they're trying to ignore all of the things that are going on and all of these explosions and stuff, and they're trying to forge ahead, but they are not. It's like walking into a room and not knowing what to expect, because you're just going in there and you're like going, oh, I have this thing I want to grab, and then you get distracted from something else. And I think that's kind of where they're at. I think they're in that sort of state where they're like going, we have this thing exploding, we don't know what to do, but let's focus on something else because it's just, that's the way it is. Sorry about the door. When the wind blows through here, the doors kind of sometimes slam, and it's not intentional, so that's what that loud noise was. It wasn't my guides sneaking up behind me or anything like that. It was just the door closing. But at any rate, that's I think that card is so cute. That cat just looks like he's eating part of the box. Final outcome is the Six of Wands. And this is like, what is it? What are they going to do? How do they proceed? They've got this thing blowing up. They have things blowing up left, right, and center. What are we going to do? This is not a good look for us. This is not going to help us in any way, shape, or form. And we are sitting here spinning our wheels trying to get things to work. And it's like putting square pegs into round holes. It is not working. They are not having any success with this. And it's just they're trying and trying, but it's just something's not working. So that's what I got on that. I'm going to use the other deck now, and I'm going to ask what the future is for SpaceX, because SpaceX is a company type thing, and it is, people are wondering about it. They're asking about it. What does the future look like for them? What is their, we have the current state with the cat cards, but now we've got, what is their future? What can we expect from them in the future, or what will happen to them in the future? And so when I pulled that Justice card, that seemed to imply that that's what's coming. But let's go a little bit deeper and see what is the future of SpaceX. What is going to happen with SpaceX? A lot of people are turning away from them. In Europe, France is trying to create they're trying to create an alternative to SpaceX. So this is what happens when you stick your feet into right-wing politics, I guess. You end up ruining everything you touch. But that seems to be part and parcel of what's going on in the US at the moment. But what is the future for SpaceX? What is the future for SpaceX? What is the future for SpaceX? The future for SpaceX. One more shuffle. One more poker shuffle. There we go. What is the future for SpaceX? Okay, so here we go. Three of Swords. Three of Swords. This is really kind of wild because I pulled the Three of Pentacles on the other deck and I thought it was the Three of Swords. I thought this was the Three of Swords. I thought this was the Three of Swords, but it's not. It's the Three of Pentacles. This is the Three of Swords. This is definitely the Three of Swords. And it's heartbreak. This is also about betrayal, treason, this kind of thing. So does this mean that something happened with the voting? Maybe. But it also is heartbreak. This is betrayal. This is the ultimate betrayal card, and this is the future of SpaceX. This is what I get for the future of SpaceX. This is that it's going to collapse. That there's heartbreak and betrayal with it. Okay, and it's crossed with the Ten of Cups. That means they're happy people. The people are going to be happy that this is falling apart, that this is collapsing. People don't like them. People like me blocking them on blue sky. They don't like them. They're like, no, we don't like this guy. We don't like this company. We don't like what they're doing. We don't like the impact that they're having on the politics. We just don't like them. And we're using our pocketbooks to determine what we like and what we don't like. And this is the happy family. This is the happy people. This is the accomplishment or achievement. And it's crossing this. So, and the next card we got is the Six of Cups. And this is in the past, SpaceX was considered something that was kind of, it was successful. It was revered. People liked it. And now people are saying, we don't like this. We don't like this. So the Six of Cups is that sort of that nostalgia. Oh, the days before when all things were wonderful and light and everybody was happy. That's what they had before, and now it's changed. Oh, card down. Oh, there we go. Okay. And then you got the Two of Swords. And this is I think it has a feeling of blindly going forward and seeing what works and what doesn't work. And they're finding out what really works and what doesn't work in this instance. So Two of Swords is kind of, blindly. I get the feel, but the image that comes into my mind is that you have your eyes covered and you are picking something, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, which way should I go? And doing it that way. And that's kind of the impression that I get from this card. They're at the point now where they're trying to determine where they're going, what direction they're going to go in. And that's what this card to me represents. The next card I get is the Knight of Cups. I'm getting a lot of these cards from other readings that I've been doing. The Knight of Cups has been popping up quite often, and that is the overarching energy. The overarching energy is the Knight of Cups, and this is the feeling of people are excited about, I think, what's coming from France and from these other people that are doing these. They're doing these different. What's the word? They're doing these different things, and the Knight of Cups is kind of that excitement and euphoria about what they're going into, what they're embarking on, and this isn't necessarily SpaceX. This is the excitement about what they're going into, what they're going into in the future with these other places, like what France is coming up with, what Japan is coming up with. I heard Japan a few years back did a test of a similar rocket, and it was a successful launch, and that everything was like fine and dandy. So this is what people are anticipating about these other places other than SpaceX. The next card that I get is the Nine of Cups. Now, they might have some success. They might actually get their ducks in a row and get everything taken care of. I mean, this isn't to say that they are a complete flop, but it is to say that they have a lot of work to do in order to reach this potential that they might have. It may involve getting rid of the person in charge and putting somebody else in who actually has a clue of what he's doing or she is doing. So, see what happens. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we get the Hierophant. And the Hierophant is, I think, the silence or the stillness of just watching and observing what's happening and hoping. And I think this is the hopes and fears. And this is hoping that, that all will be kind of squashed, that they're not going to find out. I mean, people know what's happening. They know what's going on. So I think that there's that sense of, we want to see if we can kind of squash this and not have to contend with it, because it's embarrassing. They don't like it. They're embarrassed about it. But again, this is what's going to happen. I mean, what is their future going to look like if they're sitting there trying to if they're trying to create something, and every time they do, it blows up. You know, it's kind of symbolic here. How others see them, it's the Knight of Wands. And I have to look up that one because I'm not sure. What are my guides telling me? What are you guys telling me about this card? They're telling you look it up. So I'm glad that last night I watched a video, and while I'm doing this, I'm going to tell you about something that happened yesterday. Last night I watched a video. Tarot Stash did a video about beginning tarot reading. And it was really, really interesting. And I thought, wow, this is like really cool. You've got the people who come on and they know exactly what they're doing, and they come on to their channels, and they just know from one point to the next what they're doing, how they're doing it, and everything. And then you get somebody like me who's fumbling around trying to figure things out and learning as I go. And they actually added validity to the idea of learning as you go, and saying that this could be hopeful and inspiring to other people who also are learning, and that they want to try it out, but they're not sure if they can or they want to or will. And so this kind of gave me a little bit of hope that that I'm not actually just fumbling around, but that I actually have a good outlook on it, and that I am just giving it a go. This says it shows up when they're about to change resident. May also signify a long journey being taken. Okay, long journey. Yeah, SpaceX is on a journey. They're on their own journey, and they're trying to figure out where they are, what they're doing, and how far along that they can get with regards to this. Will this determine their future? Who knows? But basically, it is a good card for them, because it is their trying to infer what they're going to do next. And so I think I think that this is actually a very optimistic card for them. Even if I don't like them, this is an optimistic card for them, because this says, okay, maybe we have to change the way we're doing things, maybe move forward in a different along a different path and see what happens. So this is the card of how. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is the card of how they see themselves, how they view themselves in relation to where they're going or what their future will entail. So this is a very good card for them, I think. Okay, the next card is the Star card. Okay, the Star card is and I'm covering up her, he. She's poor. This is how people see them. And I think that what they see in the what they see in this oh, what do you call it, in this whole SpaceX thing, I think what people are seeing is I don't know. I don't know. I think that this is what they're seeing is this idea. I just think of a supernova. That's what comes into mind, is a supernova star exploding. That's what I think of. That is what I think other people see. They see this company that is just supernovaing all over the place, and I think the star kind of signifies that to me. I don't know. That may be completely way off from what the book says, but that is what the image came to mind when I saw this on the card, the star at the top. I thought of a supernova. Boom. Final outcome is the Ace of Cups, new beginning. So you're seeing this as the evolution, and they have a choice to make as to where they're going to go next and how they're going to proceed. And right now, their reputation's pretty much in the dumpster. So whatever they do, people may still have the opinion of them that's not very positive, but they could find a hopeful future if they decide to, well, for one, dump the guy who's in charge and try and see if they can get some actual smart people on board to help them move forward. But whatever it is, this is the new beginning. And after this explosion happened at in Texas with this test, they have a new beginning. They have a choice that they have to make. So they're at a place now where they just have to decide where they're going to go and what they're going to do next. And I think that's really interesting. I wasn't sure if I was going to do reading today, and then I thought, oh well, I'll do reading. And when I saw the news about this, I thought, oh wow, this is like kind of wild. I thought this was kind of wild, and I said, yeah, this might be an interesting thing to read on. And so I thought, okay, I'll just go ahead and do a reading on it and see what happens, to see where it goes, and see what outcomes I can perceive here. So I don't have a gloom and doom on SpaceX or what's going to happen to it, but I do have that sense that they're going to have to make some decisions about their condition or situation, or else they're going to be in for a world of hurt. And I think this is what is going on, and I think that this is what people are saying, that they're going to be in for a world of hurt if they don't do something about their situation and what's going on with them. And so I think that this is what the overall sense of it is. The people are kind of going in there and they're saying, well, you know what, we don't like this. We don't like what they're doing. The environment is far more important than these tests. But I just think that this is. I think that they're probably at the lowest point right now that they have ever been in, and I don't want to see any more explosions. I just don't. I don't want to see any more explosions because I care about the environment, and I care about the people that live in those areas, and I'm wondering how far they are away from civilization, if you will, or if they're out in the middle of nowhere, because there's a lot of nowhere land out in Texas. I mean, we drove through going to see my grandmother some 20, 25, 30 years ago. We drove through an area between Corpus Christi and Brownsville, and it was just like nothing. It was like we were there in night, and you could see like the stars overhead, and it was just gorgeous. I mean, so yeah, there is like a lot of land out there where there's nothing, in the surrounding areas. So I'm hoping that wherever it is that these people happen to be doing these tests, that they're like in the middle of nowhere where nobody is really, you know, residences and homes and stuff are not affected by it. But that's just my hope. But at any rate, this has been a long reading. So I'm going to say thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing, sharing, liking, and I hope you have a great day and take care. And as always, namaste.